What up peeps, welcome back to a new review video. This time we've got Jolt, the latest Amazon Prime action flick starring Kate Beckinsale, Jai Courtney and Stanley Tucci. I have been looking to watch this movie for some time because I know it came out in July 2021, but I never got a chance to watch it before. But I finally got around to watching it now, and I do have some mixed feelings about it. The main thing is because I really enjoy watching Kate Beckinsale. She's one of my favorite action actresses out there because I really like the way she portrays her characters with real stories and real struggles and stakes into their journeys within the story in the movies. Unlike modern female-led action movies that present a lot of their protagonists or their main characters as straight badasses who can kick the shit out of everyone, and they're experienced in all kinds of firearms or martial arts, and they're the ultimate hero just because they're women with no backstory or depth into their characters. And that's what making a lot of these movies or movies like these fail miserably. And we have seen how that worked before, whether with female-led action movies or with male-led action movies. If there is no depth to the character or something that can connect the viewer with the main protagonist, the movie is not going to succeed. Coming back to the story, and before we jump into it, a reminder as well that this is going to be a spoiler-filled review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, you know what to expect. The story for this one was quite interesting and original as well, even though I have seen from other reviewers that it had a similarity with Crank, starring Jason Statham. But then the take on this one was different. From the introduction of the story, it showed a real or genuine character that had an interesting backstory and a real struggle that she was going through with her condition that was called impulsive something disorder. I forgot the name of it. But that introduction made the viewer, or it made me anyway, enjoy, and as much as I was laughing at the situations that she was going through, I was also sympathizing with her condition or situation, and I was drawn to how is she going to deal with whatever's going to happen in the story in this film for her, or even in her daily life as the story progresses. And so far that was good for the first third of the movie, but then after that it started going downhill. As the events went on, I didn't know if the movie was trying to be campy a bit in some parts or in some scenes. It felt like the focus was mostly on the protagonist and what she was going through, but it wasn't delving deeper or getting into details into the other characters in her life or the interactions that she was having. For example, after her date is presumably dead, or she found out that he was killed, she started going after the people who might be responsible. So she started going after leads, but it wasn't explaining how did she get into those leads, how did she arrive at the first lead or the first point of contact that she can get some information from. It was presenting everything as generic. It was mostly focusing on her, and then the dialogue, which was quite bizarre actually. The dialogue between her and the other characters was very strange, and that's what I didn't understand. The movie started deviating from then, and it felt like it was going in one direction, but then it started going all over the place. And as I said, the focus was more on the protagonist than trying to produce a story or a complex conspiracy story, for example. It wasn't delving deeper into the events or who was behind whatever has happened. But then the dialogue and the conversations between her, the main character, and the other characters was just, as I said, bizarre. Like, for example, when she finds out about Barry and she goes to him and he's running an underground fight club, and she sees him there in the middle supervising a fight between two other guys, and everyone is cheering, everyone is excited, and everyone is in the middle. The whole place is energized. And she comes there and she's trying to get the attention of Barry, and the first thing that she does is just casually walks in the middle between the two guys fighting, and she talks to them and then makes a bet with Barry in exchange of information from him that she would beat 3 of his best fighters. And the whole sequence just happens so fast and fast forward until she gets a hold of Barry and starts extracting information from him. That whole part just threw me off, and I didn't even know, I couldn't understand what the direction of the movie was going towards. Then it kept going downhill from then on, and up to the point that I did not expect to see that in a Kate Beckinsale movie, but it did happen with the modern, ultra feminist generic concepts of most men are bad and they're all after the same thing. And these kinds of concepts that are being forced into movies, they're becoming so repetitive and very boring, and they do not send the right message across. And the dialogue, as I said, did not help at all, except for a few one-liner jokes from Kate Beckinsale, and she was funny in a few parts. A lot of the jokes that she said there, especially when she was acting impulsively, they came off in a more spontaneous and original or genuine way. Then coming to the villain played played by Jai Courtney, which was very predictable. I mentioned that before in my first review of Spiral from the Book of Saw. The idea of presenting a nice character that connects intimately with the main protagonist and then having that character suddenly disappear and then pronounced dead without showing a body of him or something that proves that he died is a giveaway. It's always a giveaway. In all cases, you know that that character is going to appear again in the end, and in most cases that character will be the villain that has been causing this whole shit show for the main protagonist. So this part was completely predictable by a mile off, and that's one of the things that takes away a lot from the movie or from the entertainment of the movie, because it takes off the sense of thrill, speculation, the sense of wondering what might happen, because you can already see what's going to happen later on. The originality then fades off from the first third or even from halfway through the movie, and it gets less and less interesting as the movie progresses. It just doesn't present something newer or something more interesting. It kind of felt like the producers of the movie started off excitingly and they were very energetic, and they put a lot of effort in the originality and in a lot of the concepts in it, but then they felt too comfortable as the movie went on, to the point that they didn't feel the need to keep the same energy with it all the way to the end. So for my final score, I would give this 4.5 out of 10. It was a good premise, but it didn't follow through all the way to the end. It was less than average for me, and it's the least liked movie for me so far for Kate Beckinsale. But that obviously does not take from the fact that I enjoy her movies. The action sequences were okay-ish, and they deliver somewhat good enough entertainment. The movie all in all together, I would say it was not on the level of Kate Beckinsale, but I'm hoping in the future that she's going to come back with stronger projects, hopefully. So what did you guys think of this one, and how much would you rate it for yourself? And if there are any more points that you would like to add into this review, or any more aspects that you want to talk about that I didn't mention here, please drop them all in the comments below. I would very much love to read what you guys have to say about this one. And until I see you guys in the next video, thank you very much for watching. Have a splendid day and peace out.